Kal halal la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Waha, Recha, Quadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles, bishops, elders, and teachers, the men of Great Millstone. To you I say Shalom. Salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Amriah. And it seems that this work of ours, those of you who are involved in the ministry, street preaching for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, has officially reached the gates of the nobles. All right. And with that being said, we always knew that this thing of ours was time sensitive. And it looks to be that time is running out. This is Isaiah chapter 13. It says, lift ye, or in verse 2, Salakia, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. All right. Mountains are synonymous with governments. And our banner, our 12 tribes sign, all of our other posters, we've lifted it up upon these governments, proclaiming that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians are, in fact, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Scriptures, that salvation is only for the elect of the nation of Israel and for no others on the earth, all right, though there be many. So it says again, verse 2, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, rebuke them, reprove them, that they may go into the gates of the nobles, right? And that's exactly what is happening. Now you are going to see the famine of the word come in very shortly, all right, which we'll get that here in just a moment. And what, in fact, all this means. Verse 3, it says, I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness, right? Before his great judgment springs forth, he have sent forth his mouthpieces, the men of the Lord, the prophets, starting with the elder apostles on down of Great Millstone, all right, to proclaim the day of judgment is near, all right, make straight your paths, prepare for the kingdom. And this is exactly what we have done. Verse 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. And Yahweh of hosts, host means armies. So Yahweh of armies mustereth the armies of the battle. All right. We're about to go into race wars, civil war, class wars, all right, world war, and ultimately that great war that finishes in the valley of Yehoshaphat, his judgment, all right, which is coming shortly as well. Verse 5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. And this is what we have been lifting up banners to warn you of. The great indignation, righteous anger, and judgment of the one whom you ignorantly call God and Jesus, whose name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh and Yahushai. Verse 6, how ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Right. Let's take a look at the video, and then we'll come back with some articles explaining this in more detail.
And tonight with me, Martin Daubney. Now, the Labour-ran Rushmore Borough Council has sparked outrage by proposing a sweeping injunction that could see Christian street preachers in prison for up to 2 years. And if the injunction is breached, now over claims of causing offence or distress. Now, under the proposed terms, Christians will be banned from praying for individuals, handing out religious leaflets or Bibles by hand, and laying hands on people in prayer, even with their permission. About GBN tonight with me, Martin Daubney. Now, the Labour-ran Rushmore Borough Council has sparked outrage by proposing a sweeping injunction that could see Christian street preachers in prison for up to 2 years. And if the injunction is breached, now over claims of causing offence or distress. Now, under the proposed terms, Christians will be banned from praying for individuals, handing out religious leaflets or Bibles by hand, and laying hands on people in prayer, even with their permission. About GBN.
That's right. As we speak, they're preparing to ban street preaching, and they're using the moniker Christian. But how many Christians have you seen out here street preaching? Honestly, the ones that are out here breaking noise ordinances, getting under the skin of the nobles are the Hebrew Israelites, all right, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I'll prove it. This is an article I looked up, AI overview. UK seeks to ban street preaching. It says several UK councils are seeking to restrict or ban street preaching, primarily due to complaints about disruptive and hostile behavior. Now, how many times have you seen Christians, well, with the exception of coming across the Hebrew Israelites, being disruptive or hostile? You don't see this, all right? The ones they consider hostile are your so-called angry Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians, all right? And in the UK, whatever they do over there is going to come to the United States in some way, shape, or form. So it's just a matter of time before they ban it here as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've never seen them ban white supremacists from doing these same setups. They come out with their loudspeakers, preaching a very hateful message, and you've never seen them look to lock these people up. So again, you got to read between the lines. You have to see through the bullshit. Akim, this is 100% about this truth reaching the gates of the nobles. But it goes on to say, several UK councils are seeking to restrict or ban street preaching primarily due to complaints about disruptive and hostile behavior. These restrictions aim to prevent preachers from using loud amplifiers, approaching people aggressively, and making hateful comments based on protective characteristics like race, religion, or sexual orientation. Now, again, I ask you, when's the last time you seen these Christians who think that God is all love, the law is done away with, he accepts any and everyone, honestly preaching against things such as sexual orientation or race, all right, or questioning doctrine, which is really their religion? So clearly they're going after the Hebrew Israelites, all right, Akim, and you need to be aware of this. Be not ignorant in any matter, small or great. Continues to say, while some councils are pursuing injunctions to ban specific behaviors, others are issuing antisocial behavior notices, all right? It goes on to say the reason for restrictions, councils have received numerous complaints from residents and businesses about preachers using loudspeakers, aggressively approaching people and making offensive and hostile comments. Injunctions, MPSPOs, right? Public space protection orders may prohibit preachers from using loud amplifiers, approaching people. And now I want to go ahead and just get to the bottom line here. And you can find this again under UK seeks to ban street preaching. But they're talking about issuing prison sentences for this type of behavior. So clearly this goes far beyond the norm. All right. And the norm, these Christians had the norms for hundreds of years. They've been pushing their lie doctrine, their plantation Christianity. This is going after the Hebrew Israelites, and don't you be deceived for 1 minute, all right? But the word prophesied this. We knew this was coming, and it looks like time's about up. Now, we've been out here warning of the destruction, and once the Lord makes our tongues cleave to the roofs of our mouths, we'll just sit back and watch the destruction crack off and pray that we are a portion of the elect. So this is the destruction we have been prophesying about. Going to Amos chapter 8, it already told us, verse 11. Amos 8 and 11, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, though that is coming as well, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And they shall wonder, all right, the sheep, the diaspora, those who rejected this word, who haven't come into the fold while they yet had time, while they yet had liberty. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Right. And what exactly does that mean? The Lord is about to pull back his mouthpieces. All right. There will not be to the people a reprover. They will not be warning you any longer. They will not be telling you of the plans of the elite to enslave you through technocracy with their MOT to the B, which is the micro C-hip. All of this great wisdom that has been unsealed by Yahweh Shai will then be like a sealed book again, all right, which one cannot understand. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, and I'll begin at verse 24. It says, then the Spirit entered into me, and this is what it means in 8:11, Amos 8 and 11, that it will be a famine of the word, okay? Then the Spirit entered into me, and set me upon my feet, and spake with me, and said unto me, go shut thyself within thine house. Right, go hide out. But you, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them. Right, they're going to seek to place us in custody. All right, incarcerate us, re-educate us, put us in these internment camps and concentration camps and foreign prisons. All right. Verse 25 again, but you, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon you, and shall bind you with them, and you shall not go out among them. Right. They're going to remove you off of the streets. And I will make your tongue cleave to the roof of your mouth, that you shall be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. Speaking of the children of Israel, who no doubt, after all these mockers and scoffers we've seen lately, are playing their part in trying to get you incarcerated, put into custody, okay? They're a rebellious house, all right? And now is the time to get your affairs in order, all right? You may be martyred for this word, and I'm praying for all of you, Akim, out here laboring in this truth, all right? But one's lot is one's lot, all right? So that being said, we're endowed in Isaiah chapter 55, as the brother where I got this video so eloquently put it. And verse 6, it says, seek ye Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. All right, pardon means to forgive. Forgive your sins, because we all have a death sentence on us. As a matter of fact, we can also find this lamented in, is it Sirach? Yes. Sirach chapter 5, verse 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth, and in your security you shall be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. All right. This is a very life or death message. All right. And it is coming to an end. Yahweh's speed to all of you. But let's watch the downfall of our enemies real time, and the destruction of the entire land come next. Abad Babal. Shalom.